I'm going to be spending 2 weeks in Ireland. I'm going to be traveling there in a couple of days' time. And while I'm there, I want to continue to be productive in the things that are important to me. So I want to be able to work while I'm there. I will be working. I need to be able to have access to email, websites, be able to do the things I do on a daily basis, working on PowerPoints, working on Word documents, things like that. I want to continue with my morning routine around my morning pages, continuing to journal, getting my thoughts out on paper and staying on top of my mental health in that way. I want to be able to continue to create content for these things like this YouTube channel or my podcast that I do with my friend Rami. And finally, I want to be able to reflect on the year of 2023 and reaffirm my goals and reset my goals for 2024 that I'm going to be working towards in this coming year. So ordinarily, that's a big ask, and I need to bring my MacBook Pro and lots of other big cameras, things like that, to make this a feasible trip for me. But I've set myself the challenge of fitting everything in this Bellroy Tokyo 8-inch folio. If it doesn't fit in the folio, I'm not going to bring it on the trip. In this video, I'm going to go through all the things I'm bringing with me to help make me productive and see if they fit in this folio. Let's get started. How's it going, folks? My name's Marcus. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here on this channel, I love to talk about technology, EDC, and anything that can help me live a happier, balanced, more productive life. So let's get started. At the very heart of this, I've got this which is new to me, the Bellroy folio. As soon as I saw this, I had to get it. It's absolutely perfect size. It's called the Tokyo. This comes in a couple of different colors, and I've gone for the grey. The reason I picked grey was I think this will be the thing that'll last, kind of hold up to dirt and time, basically. I'm going to be traveling with kids when I go on this adventure, so things get destroyed when you have kids. Probably going to get chocolate on it. It's got a really durable outside. It's got a kind of a non-rip exterior, but it is really classy. One of the things I really like about it as well is it doesn't have big branding on it. I'm not a big fan of having big branding on the things that I own. It does have the small Bellroy owl on the front here, but nothing too crazy on it. Now, when you buy this folio, it does come with its own notebook inside in it. But as you know, I'm a stickler for the type of paper and the notes that I do, especially when I'm doing my morning pages. So I've decided to swap that out in this instance, and I'm really starting with an empty Tokyo Bellroy folio. This video is sponsored by Bellroy. I shot this video before I reached out to them to sponsor it. I'm a huge fan of the brand, and having brands like Bellroy sponsor videos like this means I can buy more gear and create more content. So thanks, Bellroy. So let's get started with what's the first things that need to go inside. So the main thing is this iPad mini. I've used this iPad mini 6 all year. I really like it. And on the screen for this, I've got the paper-like screen protector. I put the paper-like screen protectors on everything that I own. I've got the 12.9 inch, the 11 inch, and this iPad mini. My kids have a couple of iPads, and guess what? They all have the paper-like screen protectors on them. One, it protects the screen from getting scratched and damaged. But two, if you're someone like me who's a real stickler for journaling and writing, it really does change the feel of the iPad screen. It feels much more like paper, and I don't really like the feel of having the stylus or having the Apple Pencil on the glass of an iPad. So the very first thing I do on every iPad I get is stick the screen protector on it. I just want to take a quick break from the video to ask you to like and subscribe to this video. I've got a small YouTube channel, so everything helps the algorithm find me. Okay, back to the content. Now, this iPad is going to serve several functions for me. While I'm traveling to Ireland, it's going to be entertainment. I'm going to be watching movies on the flight or keep my kids entertained. They'll have their own iPads as well, but I'll be reading Kindles, I'll be writing, I'll be doing markups on that flight. So I'm going to be loading this with a bunch of stuff that I want to have on the flight because it's going to be a 12-hour flight to Ireland. So it's going to be my main entertainment system. But when I get to Ireland, it's going to be my productivity hub, and this is going to be where I'm going to be working from. If I'm going to be taking calls, if I'm going to be doing PowerPoints or working on Word documents or Excel documents, all of those things, this little powerhouse is great for that. And one of the things that enables that is this keyboard. I've got several different keyboards I use for different scenarios for this mini. As you know, I've got one of those little fold-out keyboards which I live by, but for this trip I've decided to bring this keyboard which is new to me. It's going to be the first trip that I bring it on. The reason I like this keyboard so much is because it really does feel like one of the Apple keyboards. When I type on it, the springs, they do feel like the butterfly springs, and I really am efficient in typing here when I do set my stuff up here. I'll have a link in the description below for all of these things so you can check them out yourself, but at the center of the things that I'm bringing away is the iPad mini with the Apple Pencil, and this keyboard should be able to do everything I need it to do in Ireland while I'm away to check the box. So that goes in here, and I'm going to stick that in the folio. There's a back tab for it here where I can push that in. The Apple Pencil stays on, and that's got my computer needs sorted for the trip. Next, I want to talk about my notebook. I'm just going to move these MIISSO moves. These are cool. If you haven't had a chance to get some of these MIISSO moves patches yet, I recommend you do. I bought some myself. I think they're really cool. I just stuck them in there. What I'm going to be doing is bringing my Tomoe river. Someone told me how to pronounce it properly. I think I'm butchering it still. But every time I write, I have bought these for years. These are pretty much the only notebooks I write in. They've got the 52 milligram per square inch or whatever you measure paper, super thin paper that you can write on that doesn't bleed through, that works beautifully with a fountain pen. And I'm using this for my morning pages in the morning, but I'm also using it to take my notes on the trip, anything I need to jot down, anything I need to remember, or for setting my goals for the new year as I plan ahead on the things that I want to focus on. This is what I'm going to be working with. Now I'm going to tuck this notebook in here. Let's do it the other way around. Let's put this in first because the Tomoe River does not have the best back. Yeah. And then we'll stick this in after. Those are the two biggest parts. Getting that in. It means I can still write on here. I have a nice surface to write on if I want to just do something on the fly. I don't have to take the notebook out. Writes beautifully, but tucks away nicely as well here. On top of that, my writing instrument, the thing I'm going to be bringing with me is this Kaweco Sport. Now here I've got a copper Kaweco Sport, and credit to my subscribers here. A number of the comments suggested this is, I think it's called the Liliput, is it called? I'll put a link in the description, but it's a fine fountain pen. It's very small, copper, it feels incredibly classy, and it writes really, really well. So if I just pick a page to write on here to show you what I'm talking about, this is a test of the Kaweco, is it called? I think it's called a Kaweco Liliput. To find the fountain pen, which means I won't use it when I'm on the flight. I've had problems in the past with finding fountain pens or with fountain pens as a whole on flights, but I will have it here with me for when I'm working in Ireland. That means I need alternatives. So I always bring with me highlighters and regular pens with me everywhere I go, and I'll be bringing those, and they'll be the things that I use on the plane. In my pocket, I always have the small version of the Tomoe River. This is the A7. This is the dot. I use dot grid for everything else. This one has got the square, and I'll be using this. I bring this just for notes that I jot down as I go, so I'll have that with me as well. Now, in terms of managing power when I'm away, keeping everything alive, I will be bringing a USB-C to USB-C cable with me. This is a beautiful one because it's a Thunderbolt 4. It's not super long, but it is nice and chunky, and it's magnetized, so it has magnets throughout it that keeps it nice and coiled, keeps it organized, so it's just nice and small and easy to keep together. I'm just going to stick that in there. And in terms of delivering power while I'm on the go, I will have with me a small 20 watt power adapter, the smallest ones you can get, but I'll also be bringing this MIISSO power, this external battery bank. Now this MIISSO external battery bank, the reason I like it so much is it's only 6,000 milliamp hours, which is quite small. But I really like it because it has the cables incorporated in it, that I've got a lightning cable here if I want to charge my iPhone when I'm on the go, and it has a USB-C as well. It's got more than enough power to get me out of a pinch, to maybe put 20-30% more on my iPad if I'm starting to run out of battery. I used on the last trip I was on to keep the kids going, and it's so small I don't even notice that it's in there. So that's really great for that. Now the next thing I want to talk about is Plaud.ai. This is really cool because this is ChatGPT that connects to the back of your phone. It's in a MagSafe wallet. You don't even really know it's there, but when you want to use it, you can just turn it on. And if you're on a phone call, it can hear you and can hear the person that you're talking to and can create a transcript of that call for you. It makes data that's searchable, so it's not just creating a full transcript that you can read through. It will summarize the call that you've had afterwards. So if I'm working in Ireland and I want to use this, if I'm going to be working on YouTube videos, or one of the things that I'm going to be doing is interviewing someone as part of my podcast, I can turn on Plaud while I'm doing it. It will create a transcript of the podcast and will help me make descriptions or call out the key parts of that podcast that I want to share with people afterwards. So really, really integrating AI as I go here, and something that's really invaluable in helping me with my YouTube channel and with my podcast as I go. So I'll have that on the back of my phone, and I'll turn it on. I'll bring it with me on this trip to Ireland. The second thing, though, that's a game changer for me is using this Ray-Ban. So I like to use these Warby Parker. I really do like the clear lenses, but just recently I got these Ray-Bans, and these are incredible. These Ray-Bans are the Wayfarers, but they're the Meta Ray-Bans. And what that means is that they're smart glasses. So now that I put these on, these are connected to my phone. And these are not just ordinary glasses. In fact, I can hear them bleeping away in my head as they connect and as they do different things just now. But what's what's cool about these is they've got 5 different microphones in the glasses, 4 different speakers, there's a camera in them, and I can take phone calls without putting earbuds in. I can take phone calls with these on. As I wear glasses anyway, it's kind of a no-brainer for me. So I can take phone calls, I can listen to audio, I can watch movies, I can take videos or take photos. So I just took a photograph here, or if I really wanted to, I could take a video by just holding this down for a second. You'll see the light indicator comes on, and you can see now the things that I see as I'm making this video. I've got my camera doing my top down, that's where you are over there. I've got this camera over to this side, and this is what it looks like for me while I create this content. What's really interesting about these glasses, there's an LLM or an AI actually integrated in them as well. So it means that I can use the prompt word, so I can say, hey Meta, what are the 3 most popular knife steels? I don't know if you could hear that in the microphone, but I've got this LLM integrated with me all the time everywhere I go. So it makes me incredibly efficient. So when I'm talking to someone, or if I'm learning something, or even if I'm watching a YouTube video, I can ask my own AI to explain things to me in the background as I'm watching it, which I just really love. I think it's incredible. So another thing that will make me crazy productive, given I wear glasses already, it's not that big a snag. I'll be doing a video on these totally separately, but these are some of the glasses that I just got. I've only had them a couple of weeks. I'm going to be bringing them to Ireland with me. And finally, I'll be bringing this little mini Altoids tin with me, where I'm going to be keeping a few things like a Phillips and flathead screwdriver, this whistle, which is incredibly loud. I'll turn down the decibels. The reason I like this whistle is I can actually use the top of the whistle to stick the bits in here. They fit just good enough that they're, for doing small things. I can stick that in, but it doesn't raise an eyebrow with the TSA as I bring it through. I'm going to bring a mini tube of super glue in there, as well as a small band-aid. I'll have a little medical kit with me anyway, separate, but just keeping those 4 tiny things in there, stick them in here in the middle of that, along with the power adapter I'm bringing with me. Close it all up. And finally, in this back pouch, I'll be sticking our passports. They fit in perfectly. Now, that on top of, I don't know if the glasses case is breaking the rule or not, but having my phone, having Plaud.ai with my ChatGPT on that, having my smart glasses, and having this powerhouse, everything that I need for this 2 weeks in Ireland, fit in this Bellroy Tokyo 8-inch is no mean feat. I'm delighted to be able to bring everything. I love packing super small like this, so having everything I need in this folio is a real achievement for me. I'm looking forward to the trip. What are some of the things that you would bring with you, or what are some of the things you just absolutely couldn't leave behind? Do you think I'm cutting it too fine here, or do you actually think I'm bringing things that I don't need? I'd love to hear about it. Tell me in the comments below. Good luck.